The main character that I felt like was the least successful in their movements was Helena Bonham Carter.
Yeah.
I wonder if that was on purpose because of that weird love triangle. I wonder if they're like, okay, well, Helena, we're not going to make you look too much like an ape.
We want you more human.
By giving her a fucking Rachel haircut.
Yeah.
I hated that haircut. I was... Someone told me life was gonna be with apes. I don't know. That was because the makeup looked really good, but like anytime they showed like a female and they had like a modern hairdo, I was like, just no.
My dear, you look lovely tonight.
Thank you, but I'm having a bad hair day.
I wonder if like Tim Burton was like, hey, Rick Baker, with makeup, I want when people see this to have like a kink unlocked that they didn't know they had. Like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I wonder how many people unlocked their furry fetish through this movie.
Furries, let us know.
Yeah.
Hit us up in the comments.
Making stuff is hard,
Especially in the entertainment world,
Where big egos, bigger budgets,
and just plain bad luck.
can make things go horribly wrong.
and we're going behind the scenes of these disastrous
Never-ending,
And often dangerous productions.
to find out why.
it was a shit show.
Hello, fellow human savages.
Damn.
This what?
We didn't even have a response to
No,
that.
I feel like attacked now. We
I
just
feel
got
so
started.
aggressive.
Well, it was a shit show, joined by Ray, and unfortunately, a mute Clint. Yeah, he's just gonna have to be the mute human in this episode.
Everybody's dream.
Yeah. except you're one fan.
I know. I have no idea who that is. And like I'm very appreciative and I love this person. But like I showed Lisa all this and they're like, I said, Jenny Ray and Ian want to know if this is you. She's like, no.
She's like, I don't have time.
She's like, I don't have
Time
this
to do that
garbage
kind of stuff.
and this nonsense that you do.
I don't need to fluff your ego anymore.
She absolutely does not. She actively tells people to not. She's like, don't
Don't encourage
Don't
him.
encourage him.
So with the release of Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes on May 10th, 2024, what a perfect time to revisit the Tim Burton directed remake of Planet of the Apes from 2001. This episode, like full disclosure, this episode could have been a video because this story covers like just a decade and has as many false starts as like Batman Begins. But however, I don't think the interest for the series is strong enough to warrant a video.
Not a lot of ape heads out there.
Yeah. I mean, because even the newest ones were kind of like okay hits. Like, I don't know. And
saw
we'll see
the-
how the new one
I
goes.
saw
so
the
good.
first one. I saw Rise of the Planet of the Apes. Now let me. I've heard that they're all really good. I've only seen the
Yes.
first one, and I plan on watching the rest. Actually, I actually plan on watching them pretty soon, because I've heard they're just amazing. But there's one thing that I have to I just don't like about it is just the of the.
Yeah, it's obnoxious.
Dawn of the Planet of the. Yeah. It's a mouthful of a title.
Okay, so instead, let's enjoy the madness together. Buckle in. This is going to be a long one.
Oh God, I'm scared.
So today, let's talk Planet of the Apes.
I was obsessed with the Planet of the Apes movies as a kid. And so the notion that I could be in one of those was mind-blowing to me. I didn't audition for that. Tim Burton came to me with that because I guess he was like, you look like a monkey. My agents were like, don't you think you should play a human so they can see your face? And I was like, if you tell them I want to play a human in this, I'll fucking kill you all. I was like, I'm going to play an ape.
Clint, do you have anything for the closet?
I do. So now, because this is directed by Tim Burton, I figured I have a couple of like Tim Burton-y things.
You didn't bring your Beetlejuice sign?
I thought about it. I was like, that fucker is huge.
Pull that down off the wall.
So instead, I brought my Beetlejuice figure from NECA Toys, Toonie Terrors. Yeah, he's a cute little Beetlejuice.
I mean,
Is it the
cute's
cartoon?
not the right word.
Or
No,
is-
it's the Michael Keaton Beetlejuice, but it's from NECA's toy line called Toonie Terrors, where they're like, hey, let's take some scary horror movie icons and let's make them look like they're like
kind of animated.
cartoony.
Yeah.
And there's some of them that really look like Scooby-Doo villains. Like, it's really cool. Like,
Yeah.
I've got a ghost face running. Like, he's like, this is straight out of Scooby-Doo. So this is my Beetlejuice.
And his legs are
Cute.
like that, like loop, that like cartoon, like
It
running
looks
loop.
like it. Yeah, it's really cool. But
That's
yeah.
awesome.
So I got my my Beetlejuice.
Cute.
I think I said that 3 times already.
Oh God,
Oh, God.
So here
And
we're-
well, there he is.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's showtime.
it's shit show time.
All right, so let's talk about the first one real quick. The original film. It is an adaptation of French author Pierre Boulle. His book La Planète des Singes. I don't
La
know.
Planète des Singes. I don't know. That just reminds me of the Eddie Izzard.
Yeah, I know.
Le Singe
En la
et la
branche.
branche.
Published in English as Monkey Planet. So we get,
They're apes. God,
yeah.
Yeah.
don't be so offensive.
Random fun fact about
Don't be such a Simeonist.
Yeah.
buckle in because I'm going to do it a lot more. I hate apes. Okay, so fun weird fact about Pierre Boulle. He wrote the book The Bridge Over the River Kwai. The movie based on the book won 7 Oscars, including Best Adapted Screenplay, because the 2 screenwriters at the time were blacklisted during McCarthy
era.
Oh, it was
Yeah.
okay.
McCarthy
Yeah.
area. And Boulle was the only credited writer, and he received the Oscar.
Interesting.
shit.
That's kind
even,
of fucked up.
Even though he doesn't speak English.
That's some
Yeah.
shade. So you just get up there and be like, bonjour.
Bonjour, thank you, merci so much
Yeah,
for
merci.
this world.
Go see Los Angeles.
Le Oscar, merci.
Les Oscars.
That makes him sound like he doesn't even know his own French.
or what he's even there for. He just gets an invite. He's like, all right, I'll just show up.
Okay, so the movie, the project of Planet of the Apes was a passion project for producer Albert Jacobs. No studio wanted the project because it was considered a silly B-movie type idea. Until he got Charlton Heston to sign on, he was interested. So, like, it kind of started picking up speed. Worried that the ape makeup would be too comical.
That is a legitimate concern.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, Fox Vice President Richard Zanuck, remember that name?
Richard Xanax.
Zanuck gave Jacobs $5,000 to make a makeup test, which was good enough to greenlight. It's much rougher. They look way weirder, but it was like, if this works, we'll make the
Proof
movie.
of concept.
Exactly.
That's shocking to me that there was a worse version of that makeup that someone was like, green light that.
Are you talking about the 68 makeup?
Yeah,
I love that makeup.
bro,
Oh, they did a great job
Bro.
for the era.
bro. Okay, for the era, fine. I will concede that.
I want to get so we're talking about the original. We're going to talk about the 2001 remake. I gotta say that the ADR in the 68 version was much better than the 2001.
We'll get it. We'll talk about makeup at the end when we get to 2001.
Okay, all right.
Okay. So fun fact: Zanuck's girlfriend plays Nova.
Yeah.
And he was fired from Fox before Planet of the Apes came out because of the disaster that was Dr. Dolittle, which is definitely
Ooh,
an
that's
episode
on
we're
the
gonna
list.
do.
Yeah, it's been on the list for a while.
Yeah. The first script was written by Rod Serling.
My man.
Mr. Twilight Zone, and it was a very faithful adaptation of the book. But he does a different twist. Well, the film's twist is attributed to Serling or producer Jacobs, depending on who you ask. Boulle actually prefers his twist ending in the book, which we'll get to.
Of course he does, because it's his.
Yeah. However, that meant depicting an advanced society. So, like, the book is like they're modern day. They have like helicopters and cars and stuff like that. And they were like, this is going to be way too expensive. So they had to cut the budget enormously. They decided to make like the ape society very primitive. The script was written by Michael Wilson, one of the blacklist writers on The Bridge Over River Kwai. And he kept Serling's structure and twist. 3 weeks before production, the studio cut the filming schedule from 55 days to 45 days but the producers made sure to maintain the budget for makeup and wardrobe. Planet of the Apes released April 3rd, 1968 to good reviews, and it was very popular. The final budget was $5.8 million. And guessing off of like how popular this movie is, and especially the twist ending, how much do you think it made based off of the popularity?
I want to say like 23 million.
I'm gonna say like close to like 50 million.
33 million.
Ooh.
Yeah. Today that would be
Right in
like
between.
300 million.
Damn.
But yeah, that's like
So they made a shit ton of money.
yes.
They're just like, yes, we did
In
it.
1968, the number one movie was Funny Girl, 58 million, and 2001: A Space Odyssey made 55 million. The franchise that followed. Okay, so we have Beneath the Planet of the Apes in 1970. Heston agreed to do it as long as they killed him off in it. So
There
he's,
was a sequel?
There were
oh my,
Ray, there were
here we go.
multiple.
We're
Oh my
going
God.
we're going on a ride here.
Holy shit.
So in that movie is considered like kind of a cult classic because it's fucking insane. They find a bunch of humans living under the ground that are telepaths that are worshiping a doomsday device.
Of course,
And
yeah.
then at the end, how do you top the ending of the first movie? Well, they when Taylor he gets shot and he goes, ah, fuck it, and he hits the button, and then all of the Earth is destroyed. Like it just,
Oh my God.
it fades to white, and it goes, and the planet was no more, or something like that. It's very silly.
God.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
Taylor,
I'm going to
Jesus
spoil all of
Christ.
these. So, okay, then you have Escape from the Planet of the Apes, 1971. This one has Cornelius and Zira from the first one.
Because they're not in the second.
They are in it for like a bit. Dr. Zaius is like the main bad guy again in the second one. But in the third movie, Cornelius and Zira find Taylor's spaceship and get on it and travel back in time to 1973 LA. And and it's mostly about like them being ostracized in society because they're monkey people and
Ape people.
Ape people. I'm sorry.
people.
I don't give a shit. At the end of that movie, they are both killed because the people think that they start the flu that kills all
the
off.
simian flu.
Simian flu that kills off everybody.
Oh,
so they
it's
think
all-
it's circling back,
Yeah.
right? And so they think that they're the reason they're going to start it. So this guy kills him, but they had a baby named Milo, and it safely gets away before they're murdered. Sequel to that, Conquest of the
What?
Battle of the Apes,
How I've never heard of
1972.
any of these movies.
1972 takes place in 1991 after a flu eradicates dogs and cats. Like it doesn't affect humans yet.
Okay.
And now monkeys.
Wait, it's a simian flu that kills off dogs and cats?
yeah.
That doesn't make any sense.
I mean- So okay, I haven't seen these. I'm giving you a very brief breakdown of what happens.
I'm sure they explain it very well in the
yes.
movie.
Yes.
And they don't at all
So
go, "Ugh, don't worry about it.
Well,
Ugh."
then they become like a thing where it's like people start using monkeys as their main pet because dogs and cats don't exist. Milo grows up in a circus, and he doesn't know his name, so he takes on the name of
Caesar.
Caesar, and he leads the revolt on the humans. This one is considered like the worst of all of them. Battle for the Planet of the Apes, 1973. They made one a year, like
Good Lord.
just in quick succession. This one, nuclear war decimates Earth. And then Caesar brokers peace with the humans. And I don't really know much about that one, other than the fact that like it was notoriously bad because their budget was supremely cut. And so like even the makeup was worse.
Oh, I can't even imagine.
So that's the original 5 movies. Roddy McDowell played both Cornelius in the first 3, and then he also plays Caesar.
Okay.
So remember that each film cost less and made less than the previous. It was just
It's pretty standard sequel sequence.
yes,
Yep.
especially before like sequels were like that big. But I can't believe they made 5 of them. Planet of the Apes, 1974, a TV series retelling of the movies, lasted only 14 episodes. And then Return to the Planet of the Apes in 1975, an animated TV series covering the movies again, lasts only 13 episodes.
Jesus.
So they really wanted.
They were like, we're just trying to make we're just trying to get this to work.
Yeah,
like however we can.
For seven years, they went hard with Apes.
Yeah.
Yes,
People
real
were
hard.
like really into it.
Yeah, and it's one of those things where I actually have a problem with remembering what is what, because you just see an Apes movie on television and you can't really tell the difference.
Right.
Yeah. It's
not like Jurassic Park where you're like, is this the one where the raptor talks? Okay, yeah, this is Jurassic Park 3 then.
Yeah. So begins the journey of remaking Planet of the Apes. Before we start, we are going to play a little game. Because the remake has such a long history, there are a lot of people who have touched this project. And I've asked Clint and Ray to each make a list of 15 names that they think will be related. And they could be movie titles, they could be actors, directors. And if you want, you can pause here and play along. We'll wait. Okay, so you're going to get 10 points for a direct mention of that name. Yeah. And 5 points for loose connections. Cool. So let's say you said Jurassic Park. So I'm thinking Jurassic Park and then Jeff Goldblum. Like, okay, if I say Jurassic Park, Jeff Goldblum's big part in that. 5 points for you. Okay. And then 1 point for very loose connections. Okay. And we'll start off on one that'll give you an idea. Okay, we start in 1988. 20th Century Fox meets with Adam Rifkin.
Oh, I had Adam Rifkin on my
Yeah, I'm sure.
Oh, shit, me too.
10 points, baby!
Yeah.
Or was it 5 points?
No, it'd be 10 because it was direct.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Because of his low-budget comedy, Never on Tuesday. This is a movie I've never even heard of.
I had that on my list, actually.
But here's an idea. So, like, the main stars are Claudia Christian and Peter Berg. But there's also Nicolas Cage, Cary Elwes, Emilio Estevez, and Charlie Sheen.
That's the 90s right there.
But those are like, they're
brothers.
very small parts. So, like, those would be 1 point.
Okay.
What are your lists? Read me your lists.
So going off of your instructions, because I do remember you said to stick to like the 90s.
Yeah.
And like maybe early 2000s.
Yeah.
So that's what I did, okay? So I've got Matthew Lillard, Scream, right? Because that's just me. Jurassic Park, I've got Mission Impossible, 10 Things I Hate About You.
I have that on my list too.
Do you really?
Yep.
Heath Ledger, Robert De Niro, Kevin Costner, Francis Ford Coppola, Harrison Ford, The Fugitive, the Coen brothers, Joaquin Phoenix, Steven Spielberg, and The Shawshank Redemption.
I have Steven Spielberg too.
Okay. Ray?
Okay. I have Lord of the Rings, Steven Spielberg, John August, 10 Things I Hate About You, Bridget Jones's Diary. This is now just devolving into movies that I like. Bridget Jones's Diary, Emma Thompson, Groundhog Day, Batman and Robin, Keanu Reeves, Jim Carrey, Tom Hanks, Forrest Gump, Brad Pitt, Quentin Tarantino, and Robin Hood Men in Tights.
All right.
Look at this poker face of his. He's like,
He's loving this.
Okay. 20th Century Fox meets with Adam Rifkin. They loved the movie Never on Tuesday, and it just asked him to pitch anything. Just make what do you want to do? And Rifkin immediately says they should return to Planet of the Apes.
this is an 88.
This is an 88.
Okay.
Ray, you're going to be our Rifkin, Adam Rifkin. This is how he sold them on the idea.
Having independent film experience, I promised I could write and direct a huge-looking film for a reasonable price, like the sequel to Alien.
So, Rifkin talks about how people don't really remember the sequels, and so his version would be a sequel to the original, ignoring the actual sequels.
Oh, so doing like what sequels do now, like... Remember all those like 9 Halloween movies? Well, fuck them.
Well, fuck those.
Yeah, exactly. Or like how Superman Returns was supposed to be a sequel to
just Superman, right?
and 2.
Superman 1 and 2.
I think so. Whatever.
Yeah.
But I don't understand how you're supposed to relay that to an audience. How the fuck are you supposed to know that?
Just like put up a title card at the front, just like, look, we know there were 4 other
It just starts off with,
listen, we know there were 4 other Planet of the Apes movies. Just like pretend you did never see those. This one starts after this time. Okay, got it? Cool, let's go.
Yeah. Insert word of the Planet of the Apes.
Yeah. Well, it certainly worked because I had no idea there were 4 other movies.
So Fox hires him to write a script with the intention that he would direct. Rifkin's idea is 300 years later, after the ending of the original, with Heston's Taylor character, his descendant, leading a human revolt against the ape world. Rifkin describes it as a Spartacus movie, a real sword and sandal spectacular, monkey style.
Now, why do like all sequels that like take place, a couple hundred years later, like why does the descendant of the protagonist still need to be the protagonist?
Why does it matter, right?
Yeah, who cares?
Yeah.
And like why do they really have that ambition?
Yeah. It's in my blood.
Yeah. I know I wouldn't if someone's
anything,
like, hey, by the way,
I can't live up to that.
yeah, like I just want to sit at home and
Yeah, like if anything, it's going to be the opposite. It's going to be a teenager just being like, oh, my dad's always trying to get me to be like the protagonist and like lead this army. I just want to play my guitar. Yeah.
I don't care about your war.
This is like emo teenager.
If anything, he's like, actually, the apes are kind of cool. Like,
Yeah.
Some of my best friends are apes, Dad. Stop being so simianist. God.
This is Rifkin describing the movie.
Gladiator did the same movie without the ape costumes.
is that what he wanted to do?
Yeah, I like that.
I mean, there is Caesar.
Right? Yeah.
Okay, Fox fast tracks the project, asking Rifkin to tone down the script for budget reasons, just for budget reasons.
Now, when they say tone down, what is that? What is
Like
that?
take out anything that looks expensive.
Okay,
pretty
okay.
much.
Because they say tone down, I was like, what is there like?
Just raw,
Like,
explicit sex scenes. in
Ape
it.
sex, like swinging through the trees.
Yeah.
No, like if there's some big like battle scene, they're probably just like, look, just tone it. You're not Gladiator. Just take it down
Yeah.
one notch.
We can't afford 10,000.
We can't have 10,000
Let's do
extras in ape makeup. Just do like small fights.
Okay, so for the makeup, they hire Rick Baker. If you don't know him, Star Wars, American Werewolf in London.
Ooh.
He did Thriller, Gremlins 2. They also get Danny Elfman to score it.
Nice.
Okay, 1988.
Ooh. Wait, do I get a point because I put John August, who does a lot of Tim Burton movies that are scored by Danny Elfman.
Okay, I'll give you 1 point for that.
Okay.
Shit.
Did any of your movies have Rick Baker?
I mean, I don't think he did the makeup for 10 Things I Hate About You. Did he have any connection with Jurassic Park?
No.
No? Okay.
That was Stan Winston,
Okay.
who is the other person that's usually... Stan Winston is kind of like... If you first think of makeup and special effects like practical, you think Stan Winston, then you should think of Rick Baker.
Okay.
Okay, so they're also looking for a star, starting with Charlie Sheen and Tom Cruise.
Oh, I was gonna put Tom Cruise, but Lisa, I was doing my list with Lisa, and after I said Mission Impossible,
But you
she's
put
like,
Mission Impossible, yeah.
"Oh, I did."
Mission Impossible.
1
Okay,
point
so
for me.
no, I'll give you 5. For
5
that one.
points, okay.
5 points.
Sweet.
Rifkin.
I can't accurately describe in words the utter euphoria I felt knowing that I, Adam Rifkin, was going to be resurrecting the Planet of the Apes. It all seemed too good to be true. I soon found out it was.
Oh, poor Rifkin.
Knowing that I, Adam J. Rifkin, was going to be resurrecting Planet of the Apes.
He's like putting on his ape costume while he's
Yeah.
talking.
So Fox suddenly has a regime change, and the new lot thought the script needed work. They especially didn't care for he has a very dour ending. I don't know what the ending is, but they didn't like it, which is weird because the other ones
I was gonna
definitely
say
had
the other
fucked
ones
up
are
endings.
like planetary annihilation, and they're just like, I don't know, your ending's a bit too dour.
Yeah.
He blows up the planet in the second
or
one.
he finds out the original. He finds out that he's all fucked. There is nothing out there.
There is nothing for it.
I
Yeah.
have this thought that the real Charlton Heston would have blown up the world. Like if he's shot and he's like,
Probably.
yeah,
You're coming with me.
yep.
As time went on, Rifkin kept revising the script to their notes, but Fox kind of let the project waft away slowly, becoming like uninterested in it. Rifkin says there was no one moment that killed his version. It just died a slow death. But he doesn't regret the experience. He actually really enjoyed that he got to do that. Rifkin would go on to write and direct such films as The Chase with Charlie Sheen.
Okay.
Small Soldiers.
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
my God, Small Soldiers.
And Detroit Rock City. Are there any loose connections in who's in Small Soldiers? I didn't write this one
Small
down.
Soldiers had
Tommy Lee Jones.
Tommy Lee Jones. I had The Fugitive.
Okay, I'll give you 1 point for that.
1 point.
Okay.
I'm not tracking your points. You guys got to track your own points.
Well, you're gonna have to tell me what points I have because I'm not good at movies like you are. I don't have.
Oh, I know.
movie
I'll try to help.
Encyclopedia brain.
Yeah, you're gonna have to help with some of that. Okay. All right. Moving on. Around 1992, Fox meets with Fran Walsh and her filmmaking partner,
fucking
Lord of the
Jackson.
Rings.
Peter Jackson.
Ooh, so I get points for Lord of the Rings.
Yes. 5 points. Cool. They were in the process of getting Heavenly Creatures made, and they were just at Fox to have a meeting. They were just, hey, we come pitch us some stuff. Fox mentions that they were really struggling with the Apes remake. And Jackson, who loves the original, says he'd love to take a crack at it. Jackson and Walsh come up with a pitch about a sequel to Battle of the Planet of the Apes, the last one.
Okay.
So it would be the sixth sequel.
Yeah.
Where the apes are experiencing a renaissance while a human revolt is kind of bubbling underneath. And the main character...
Sounds very French.
No, actually, the main character is a very Da Vinci type, and he's an older ape.
Literal Renaissance.
And Jackson wants Roddy McDowall to play him. So the guy that played Cornelius and Caesar.
Nice.
McDowell said he was done with the series, but after meeting with Jackson, believes that his idea was a strong one. So Jackson, Walsh, one of their producers, and McDowell returned to Fox to pitch their idea.
Oh.
Problem is, the guy that they originally spoke to about this has left Fox.
Oh God.
So they show up to a meeting. They're like, "Hi, we're here to meet with so and so about Planet of the Apes." And like, oh,
They're just like, who?
Yeah.
he didn't tell us. He's gone.
I love the idea though. This guy was just like, I'm gonna make a bunch of bullshit deals and then just fuck off. And then like people are just showing up to Fox like, I'm here to pitch on the fourth blah 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 movie, and they're like, what are you?
They got their
actually
poster
talking
boards
about?
and their easels all set up, all dressed in nice.
Their little ties on. They're like,
One of them was wearing an ape mask.
Yeah. What the fuck is this going on in the lobby? So they're pitching to a new guy who didn't give a shit about any of this.
yeah.
So he wasn't friends with his predecessor. Every time they mentioned him, he was like, I don't know him. Like he was like being real cold about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't know Jackson. He didn't know Walsh. And he didn't know who McDowell was or why it was important that he was there.
Oh
I don't know
God.
who this is.
I'm
Who's this McDowell character?
Yeah.
You seen in Planet of the Apes, right?
Yeah.
Well,
No.
I know about it.
Maybe my predecessor
I've
did.
never heard of it. This guy's just like denying everything.
no,
I don't know that
no.
guy. I don't know you. I've never heard of Planet of the Apes. I
Where
don't even
are
know
we?
what an ape is.
What am I doing here?
That makes me so sad though. Like that's so fucking awkward.
Frustrating.
Yeah,
Yeah.
where you're just like, I swear,
Yeah,
this
like-
guy wanted us to pitch on this
Yeah,
movie.
exactly.
Look, he wrote our meeting time down on this napkin.
So their version died the moment they walked out the door.
Oh,
Jackson and Walsh would go on to make Heavenly Creatures, which was their like kind of they made really crazy B movies, and then Heavenly Creatures like, oh, they're actually like they can be illegitimate filmmakers, and that was enough for them to get Lord of the Rings.
I was gonna say if they had made that, it would have been really good, probably.
Yeah, probably.
Like it would have been. Yeah, it wouldn't have been whatever the fuck we had in 2001. Spoiler, it's not good.
I know.
Within the next year, producer Don Murphy, nothing.
No, I don't know that guy.
Le-
Never heard of him in my life.
League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, from a previous episode.
Yeah.
So,
Oh my God, we got any LXG connections on here? Let's see. Stidham, Spielberg, 10 Things I Hate About You, Bridget,
I don't think I do.
okay. So Murphy calls Fox saying he'd love to produce an Apes movie. And Fox says, okay, but you need to find a director. And Fox is like, we really want Sam Raimi. No.
I don't have Sam Raimi.
nothing?
Spider-Man's?
Okay, so Murphy doesn't think Raimi would be interested in that or a very good fit. So Fox says, okay, well, you're currently producing natural-born killers,
Okay.
who we have Woody Harrelson, Juliette Lewis, Robert Downey Jr., Tommy Lee Jones, and Tom Sizemore. But anyway,
Wait, is that what you said? You said Natural Born Killers?
natural-born
Who
killers.
directed that?
Why not, if you're producing natural-born killers, why not ask Oliver Stone?
Oliver Stone.
Oh.
So Fox meets with Don Murphy and Oliver Stone, and they're having this meeting. They sit down. Stone immediately goes, I've watched all the movies the other day. They're all terrible. I'm only here because of Don Murphy.
Oh, geez.
And then he just sits back and like crosses his arm. Stone has no idea to pitch. He's not doing any of this.
Oh, God.
And so Murphy is flabbergasted. He's just like, oh shit. And he starts scrambling. And he's like,
there's apes and
and
humans?
he's trying to find ways to salvage this meeting, right? And he's like, he gets to the point where he starts talking about McDonald's toys.
And we could sell McDonald's toys. Like, that's perfect marketing. I mean, it was...
Oliver Stone and McDonald's toys always go together.
I mean, based on, though, like, how they make movies, starting with a toy line is,
Yeah.
like, not unheard of. They're just
Batman
like,
and Robin.
listen, though, but action figures, maybe they could be apes and human action figures. It would be so cool. Kids would love it.
Play sets?
So this is producer Jane Hampshire. She's Don Murphy's producing partner. This is her about that meeting.
The collective embarrassment level in the room was quantumly higher than anything I've ever registered before in my life.
Wow, that is an eloquent way to say it was just
was
shit.
Awkward as
Right?
shit.
Such a good quote.
Oh,
The
God.
collective embarrassment. That's the new name of my new improv troupe.
Collective embarrassment.
I gotta write that down. Hold on. Collective embarrassment. That's brilliant.
Oh.
As this awful meeting continues.
Way to go, Stone, you dick.
Yeah, okay, but
Jeez.
so as he's just sitting there, stone-faced,
That's good.
he is struck by an idea. And suddenly,
He's just sitting back in his chair, arms folded. He's like, I'm only here because of Don Murphy. Fuck everything else. And then all of a sudden he's like, oh.
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
What
yeah. While they're talking about McDonald's toys, and he goes on. He's like starts going on about how time is a flat circle, and that what if the apes of the future were also the apes of the past?
Oh my God.
And the apes knew that the Bible held the numerical code of how
No.
the world would end.
No.
Like this is like where he's going.
How stoned was he? Literally,
Stoned,
Oliver
yeah.
Stoned. It's in his name.
So they're all like, well, okay, we got him. Like he's hooked an idea, so maybe he's interested in doing this, right? So Fox signs Stone as an executive producer, paying him $1 million, and
God, must be really nice to be a white guy. Just like pulling that bullshit out of your ass. They're just like, that sounds great. Here's some money.
yeah,
Jesus.
for
Well, it doesn't happen for every white guy.
and he doesn't. He's not writing it. He's not directing it.
Yeah.
Like,
He just got a brainstorm from a McDonald's toy. Somehow led him to numerical codes of the fucking Bible.
yeah, I know, right? So, but Fox hopes that he'll direct. Stone hires Terry Hayes. He wrote Mad Max 2 and 3.
Ooh,
I don't think you guys had anything that was connected to those.
No.
I don't think so. Yeah.
So he writes Return of the Apes. So again, off of Stone's idea.
It's about time is a flat circle. Listen, time is a flat circle.
So it's about a future where humans are only giving birth to stillborns. Because the humans have a genetic time bomb in our DNA, they've discovered. So two scientists travel back 100,000 years to fix this. A guy and a woman who is pregnant. Apes rule the earth, but one human female contains the key to Homo sapiens survival. Her name? Eve.
Oh, okay.
The scientist gives birth to
Cain and Abel.
Adam.
Oh, Adam. Okay.
Does Oliver Stone know his fucking Bible? It's also very weird that I am getting like heated about like about Bible
Get your
accuracy.
Bible story straight.
I know.
It was
Oliver.
100,000 years ago. They got it wrong when they wrote it down.
Yeah, you're right.
So the movie ends when the scientist who invented time travel basically admits he never figured out a way to get them back.
Oh my God.
And-
He's like, well, you can get us back, right? Oh yeah, sure. And then he looks over somebody else. Don't tell him.
We just got to go round again. You know,
Yeah.
time is a flat
Yeah.
circle.
You'll
the
get
other way.
back eventually.
We'll get
Go
back
the
there
other way.
eventually.
Just keep going back. You'll get to the front.
Oh no, I only invented a backwards time machine.
But if
not
time's a flat
forwards.
circle, then
yeah, then
it's
if
like
you go
the
backwards
Futurama
far
episode
enough, you
in
go
reverse.
forwards. Yeah, exactly. See, this makes perfect sense.
And at the end, he builds a model of the Statue of Liberty's head to remind him and his people where they came from. I don't know.
Sure.
It's a bit
Okay.
bizarre. Okay. Fox says this is one of the best screenplays they've ever read.
Oh my God.
So they need a director. So they start talking to Chuck Russell. He did Nightmare on Elm Street 3,
Ooh,
The Blob, and The Mask.
Jim Carrey.
there you go. You got it right.
You got
Was
5.
that 5 points?
5 points. However,
Man, I got a feeling my list sucks.
however, they attach a star, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Batman and Robin.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I knew Batman and Robin would come in handy. Was that? Is
Speaking of
that?
McDonald's toys.
Is that, is that plus 5?
Yeah, I'll give you 5 for that one.
Hell yeah.
So, Schwarzenegger.
This is the only time that your love of Batman and Robin to come in your favor.
Oh, it comes in handy a lot more than you think.
It'll save my life one day.
Yeah.
One day I'm going to be on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and there's going to be some question related to Batman and Robin. I'm going to be like, Eureka!
So, Schwarzenegger, when he gets on, he has director approval in his contract. And he wants and gets Philip Noyce.
Noyce.
He's hot off of Patriot Games and Clear and Present Danger.
I have Harrison Ford.
There you go.
Is that 5 points?
Yeah.
All right.
He also directed Dead Calm, which is a movie that Terry Hayes wrote. So the guy that wrote this script is also got the same director. And if you care, Dead Calm has Sam Neill, Nicole Kidman, and Billy Zane.
Sam Neill?
Yeah.
I have Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park.
Should I wait for bigger points? I'll wait for bigger points.
No, well, no, I'll give you 5 for that one. That's fine. Because he is the main star.
Damn it. I was going to put Nicole Kidman, actually, and then I didn't.
Okay.
Regrets.
They also get.
she's in Batman Forever.
That's true. But I
They
didn't put
also
Batman.
get Stan Winston, who did Aliens, Predators, Terminators, Jurassic Parks.
Okay, so I'll still get 5 points for that then, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, actually, I'll give you 10 for that one.
10 total, or do I get an additional 10?
No,
God,
for Stan
stop-
Winston, because
stop
you
trying
said
to-
you had Jurassic Park on yours,
Yes.
right? And I directly mentioned Jurassic Park.
Okay, so I get 10 points,
10
not
points.
5.
10
okay.
points.
Okay.
Fuck you, Batman and Robin.
In comes executive Dylan Sellers, who says the script is missing something.
Even though
This
Fox is like, this is the best
Grace-
script.
yes.
Script
Yes.
we've ever
Yeah,
read.
right?
But some executive comes like, actually.
Yeah. So this is just gonna be the scenario where he's trying to make a name for himself, and this is executive meddling right here.
Oh, God.
He suggests the movie needs a scene where like the apes are playing baseball,
Oh, no.
but like they haven't quite figured it out.
Is this
yet.
the same guy who pitched that scene for the Twilight movie later? Is this the same fucking guy who's like, listen, but what if the vampires were playing baseball, you guys? I'm just really into baseball. Sorry,
No,
continue.
no.
This maniac.
So he's like, they should be playing baseball. Okay, remember this is 100,000 years ago. So they're playing baseball, but they haven't quite figured out. So he's like, they haven't quite figured the game out entirely. Like they haven't grasped the concept of a pitcher or something like that. And this is his big idea.
Okay.
Terry Hayes leaves the meeting and he's like,
God
yeah,
damn
yeah,
it.
sure. Cool. All right. He completes a rewrite, but does not include the baseball scene.
Yeah, because why would you?
Sellers fires Hayes.
Because he didn't put in his baseball scene?
Stupidest baseball thing.
Oh, my God.
So
Like, he probably took that as just like, okay, this is just, in the room. People are just like, what about this idea?
Yeah.
But then, like, you don't ever think that that's really a thing you have to put in. You're just like,
or like,
you just
okay,
politely chuckle and go, that's interesting. And then, like, zoop, and then
Or
erase
you-
it from your brain.
Yeah, or it's like something. It's like you pitched an idea or like a concept,
Right.
and he maybe interpreted it in some other way, and he was like, "No, I wanted that exact thing."
Like, literally
Yeah.
the baseball scene. Yeah.
So Hayes was friends with Philip Noyce, and he's like, "Well, fuck that! Like, we're buddies." He quits.
He walks.
Wait,
quits.
Noyes was the director,
the
right?
director.
Okay.
And he goes on to make The Saint.
Oh, Val
Did I put Val
Kilmer?
Kilmer? No, I didn't. Fuck.
Nothing? Okay.
No, I don't think so.
Fox becomes annoyed with the project, thinking Stone isn't pulling his weight as a producer. And as
He's like, what? I gave you times a flat circle. Come on, what else do I need to do? Just give me my money.
this is
I gave you time.
That was my big...
Who else could have made that connection for McDonald's toys, right? It was me. I gave you that.
genius. Fuck you.
Oliver Genius Stone.
Clint, you'll be Don Murphy. This is what he says about the project.
Terry wrote a Terminator, and Fox wanted the Flintstones.
What?
Meaning, like, they wrote a cool sci-fi movie where he goes back, and then instead they just want
They
like,
wanted
a silly...
Yabba Dabba Doo.
Yeah, they wanted Twinkle Toes Bowling.
But why? But what, didn't they say it was the best script they'd ever read?
It's crazy, right?
Getting mixed messages here.
I know. So Stone leaves.
Okay.
He goes, and then the production heads of Fox also change hands. So a whole another team, another team. And Sellers, he produced a movie called Strange Days with Rafe Fiennes and
Okay.
Angela Bassett. He attends the movie's premiere, gets drunk, crashes his car, killing his passenger, a 26-year-old named Louis Chereau, and is given jail time for vehicular manslaughter.
Oh, God.
Jeez.
So, nobody is involved in that
So
project anymore.
Literally every person attached to this movie has either like gone to jail, stopped working at Fox, or just left.
Yeah. And one of them walked away with $1 million.
Oliver Stone.
Smartest man in the room.
God
So,
damn. Must be fucking nice.
next comes Chris Columbus, who wrote Gremlins, The Goonies, and directed Home Alones, and Mrs. Doubtfire.
Would I get a 1 point for Steven Spielberg? Because didn't he produce?
Oh, okay, I'll give you one on Goonies.
I feel like we all have to just get 1 point for Steven Spielberg because like he touches everything.
Yeah.
But hold on a minute. Chris Columbus also directed the first 2 Harry Potter films, which star Emma Thompson. So do I get a point for Emma Thompson?
Is she in the first
I'll
two,
give you
though?
1 point for that.
But is she in the first two?
No, she's in the third one. But listen,
Well, because Chris Columbus still produced those, though, didn't he?
probably.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, all right,
yeah.
okay.
So Chris Columbus starts writing, but he decides he's going to join up with Sam Hamm, who wrote
Hee hee.
Batman, the original Batman.
Okay, I already got points for Batman's.
I got nothing here. But
I'll give you 1 point for. I mean, it's not like you can't not get the same thing twice.
I get another point for Batman.
I'll give you 1 point for Batman and Robin. Okay. Their version is considered more kid-friendly and includes a lot of ideas from the book that never made it into any of the films.
like French baseball.
Yeah, French baseball. It's about an ape astronaut crash landing on Earth, kickstarting the virus on human babies, and then 2 scientists journey to the apes' home planet to find a cure.
Oh, for revenge.
That's not lighter and more kid friendly, Clint. Jesus Christ. And they take a doomsday device with them.
Yeah, like, fucking kill this planet. So they return from the planet. And that again, it's like a futuristic society there for the apes, and they return 74 years later, and apes have taken over the earth. And the ending reveals the Statue of Liberty has been chiseled into looking like an ape. Okay, Fox doesn't like the script, so Ham and Columbus leave. Because of the frequent delays, this allows Schwarzenegger to make Eraser with Chuck Russell directing, the guy they wanted to direct this movie anyway.
Oh, right.
Okay.
And a movie produced by Chris Columbus, Jingle All the Way.
Great movie.
None of you had Jingle All the Way on
No,
there?
I didn't. I sure
I
didn't.
think 90s, I think Jingle All the Way.
That list, if you remember right, from I think one of our Patreon episodes, that Jingle All the Way was on the list of one of my most hated
movies, I know.
Yep.
Okay. Fox then enters talks with Schwarzenegger's 3-time directing buddy,
Oh, James Cameron.
James Cameron.
Let's see. I don't think I know James Cameron. Fuck me. Did he have anything to do with 10 Things I Hate About You?
Did James Cameron ever direct anything that had Keanu Reeves, Tom Hanks, or Brad Pitt in it?
No.
Damn it. Okay.
I was you know what? I was thinking about doing Bill Paxton, but then I was like, I'm going to do Shawshank Redemption.
So Cameron is interested in writing and producing it, but not directing it. And all we know about his idea is that he said he was going to go in a very different direction. However,
There's no apes at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no apes. However, he's really busy with Titanic.
He's been busy with Titanic since 97.
Yeah,
He
yeah, I
won't
know.
shut up about it.
Yeah.
So Fox, again, all new team, asks Peter Jackson if he'd want to write and direct
Wow.
with Cameron producing and Schwarzenegger starring.
And he's just like, I've been here before, and no, thank you.
Yeah, he should have just been like, I don't know who any of you people are.
Yeah. So Jackson worries that the situation that would, like any situation that would arise, like the studio would back those two over him. And so he would be just thrown under the bus and like and just be a hired hand. And so
Yeah, because he hasn't done Lord of the Rings yet, so his
No.
like cachet is not as high. Yeah.
So he chooses to decline. So first time he gets kicked out of the other, and then this time he says no.
Yeah.
Okay. When Titanic comes out, it becomes the biggest film of all time. Leonardo DiCaprio. Do you guys have DiCaprio?
I was going to put him down.
Okay.
No.
Kate Winslet,
Oh, wait,
Billy
wait, well-
Zane.
Lisa even said Billy Zane. Shit.
Okay, so Titanic becomes the biggest movie of all time. And Cameron decides from now on he only wants to develop his own movies. Ray, B. James Cameron, why he decided not to make Planet of the Apes.
The Terminator was my creation. So were Titanic and The Abyss. With the amount of time and energy that I put into a film, it shouldn't be somebody else's idea. I don't want to labor in somebody else's house.
So Cameron walks, Schwarzenegger goes with him.
Yeah.
Just like that. Around
That's how the sound he makes anytime he leaves the room.
around
get to the
1998, around 1998, Fox then hears about this guy who is in a tug of war between two studios who both want him to make a movie for them. Universal really wants to make a new King Kong, and Miramax really wants to make the Hobbit movie. Who's the guy?
Peter Jackson.
Peter Jackson.
Yeah, he does both.
He does both of them eventually.
Eventually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
And
Look, I really just feel like I should get at least 5 more points for all of these fucking Lord of the Rings mentions. Just saying.
You could have just put down Peter Jackson.
I know. I'm
And you
like
won
honestly
this thing.
really mad that I didn't. I was trying to hit more people by just putting Lord of the Rings.
so, yes, Peter Jackson is suddenly the golden boy of Hollywood. And he's trying to make both of these movies. Now, Lord of the Rings is a whole other episode that I'm definitely going to do a video on because it originally was supposed to be The Hobbit, and then they couldn't get the rights, and then he decided to do Lord of the Rings.
But they got the rights to Lord of the Rings?
I know,
Isn't it the same
weird.
rights holder?
I know, right?
I don't know.
Rights. Anyway, so, and Fox is feeling left out. Like, what the hell? We met with this guy twice.
Yeah.
and now everybody wants him. So
I really hope that when they called him back up, he was like, Fox, never heard of you. And then hung up the fucking phone. Sorry, I don't know who you are.
Do you have anything to say, Roddy McDowell?
and just ran out the room. Okay. So Jackson is in the middle of making The Frighteners.
I love that movie so much.
So Fox offers Jackson full control on Planet of the Apes. And Jackson explains what the other parties are currently offering him. They're giving him back-end percentages, giving him final cut approval on the movie, and Fox laughs at him.
What the fuck,
and
Fox?
goes and says, we would never give you that much control.
Oh my God. And he's like, but I'm telling you, Universal and Miramax are going to do that.
Yeah.
Dumbasses.
So Jackson declines, but shortly after that, Lord of the Rings, the whole thing happens with Lord of the Rings. It caves at Miramax. And a depressed Jackson thought about just becoming like a director for hire because he's not getting anything off the ground. And so he thinks about calling Fox and then going, sure, I'll do Apes. I don't care anymore. But then Roddy McDowall died. And Jackson lost all interest. So
Does Ray get another point for Batman because Roddy McDowall did voice the Mad Hatter in Batman the Animated Series?
Look, I should have at
No.
least 25 points for Lord of the Rings by fucking now, is what I'm saying.
I mean, okay, I'll give you 5 for each time we did Peter Jackson. So 3 times.
But now it's no more. Peter Jackson is out.
No more Peter Jackson.
Yeah.
No more.
Yes.
Okay.
God, please just give me a Heath Ledger or something.
Okay.
Something.
Fox then approaches Michael Bay,
Okay.
who at that point did Bad Boys, The Rock, and Armageddon.
Oh, I was gonna put down Bruce Willis. Shit.
Okay. Then he says no. Then they go to Roland Emmerich, who did Stargate, Independence Day, Godzilla.
Damn it.
Nope, nothing.
Is Matthew Lillard in any of those?
Yeah, you really painted yourself into a corner with that.
I really did I? Well,
Lillard.
yeah. This is just the one.
Okay, and then the Hughes brothers.
Not the Coen brothers, because they're
I know. The Hughes brothers, they made Menace to Society and Dead Presidents, but they would go on to direct From Hell, which was produced by Don Murphy, which we mentioned very briefly.
God, I can't believe I didn't put Johnny Depp on here.
Me
Fuck.
too.
Johnny Depp, there's one there. Okay, in 1999, Fox hires screenwriter William Broyles Jr. He had just wrote Apollo 13, Tom Hanks.
Ron Howard.
I have Tom Hanks.
You have Tom Hanks.
How many points do I get for that?
5. Entrapment with
Sean
Sean Connery
Connery.
and Catherine Zeta-Jones.
Damn it.
And the upcoming Castaway.
Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks again. Yeah. So
Damn it.
I only get 5 points though?
I had a volleyball on here.
Two. You get 2 5s.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah, no Robert Zemeckis
No.
on there.
I mean, I also technically have Forrest Gump on here. So, like, do I get 1 point for Forrest Gump?
No. Well, no, because you already got the 2 Tom Hanks.
All right,
You're
all
good.
Jeez, Ray. What do you think you are, a white man?
If only I were a white man. Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I'll take these fucking points. Yeah, I'm gonna take these fucking points like
I'm gonna
the
take some-
entitled white man that I am.
She's even takes some of my points away.
Yeah. By the
Just
way,
'cause.
your points are 0 now.
What? You weren't even playing. Okay. Broyles said no to Fox twice, but he was kind of kicking it, knocking it out of the park at that time. But then he came to the conclusion that, like, since the project didn't have a producer attached to it yet, and so they wouldn't be backseat driving on anything. He was like, I could literally write anything I want.
Oh, yeah.
And so, and he like gets to a point where he's just like, he's having fun with the project, and he kind of jokingly was talking about, he's like, I thought about calling Fox, being like, does it have to have apes in it?
They're just like, that's the one rule.
Yeah.
That's the one thing.
There's 2 things this thing needs. It needs apes, and they got to be on a planet.
Planet. Okay, but what if they're not on a planet? What if they're just in space?
Planets in space. Apes in space.
So his first draft is called The Visitor, and he also outlined a trilogy of films. His version is largely the 2001 film. It does take place on another planet. All the characters are the same, and his villain is General Fade.
Okay. So now we're starting to see what we've got.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
This script is what attracts Tim Burton.
Okay.
So his Superman film just got canceled, and Sleepy Hollow is currently in theaters. Burton thought the idea of reimagining the original was very exciting.
Don't want it to be a sequel. It's not a remake. There's something about the material of Planet of the Apes which is very strong, and the idea of sort of reimagining this mythology and just coming at it from a different way and looking at it in a different way was very exciting to me.
So things finally start coming together when Richard Zanuck comes on as a producer.
That was a guy from before.
He's the guy that greenlit the original movie.
Oh my God.
So time is a flat circle.
I never left.
Holy shit! Oliver Stone was right. Time is a flat circle. He's like, I've always been producing this movie. What are you talking about? I never left.
Okay, so Burton has Broyles write another draft. Again, toning it down. But Broyles says the complex themes of time and destiny were mostly removed. Even then, Fox and Burton sees his version as like a $300 million movie because it's so big and it needs to be scaled down because it's on another planet. He had like monsters in it and shit. For rewrites, Fox hires 2 months before filming, they hire Lawrence Connor and Mark Rosenthal.
Look, we've been in this show for like 3+ years, man. Like, there's all these names now.
Yeah,
I
bro,
don't know who the fuck you're talking about.
Jewel of the Nile.
Oh
They
my
wrote
God.
Jewel of the Nile.
They're the dudes on the plane?
On the guys on the plane. And that was one of their first like big movies. And then after that, they did Superman 4, A Quest for Peace. And at this point, the most recent movie they did, very apt, Mighty Joe Young.
Oh.
Okay.
Another ape
Who's the
film.
Mighty Joe Young?
Charlize Theron and Bill Paxton.
Fuck me.
Bill Paxton. God damn.
You would have gotten so many points.
I got
for Bill
so many
Paxton.
points. Game over, man. Game over.
Game over.
Per Broyles, those two writers were able to find a happy medium between what Fox and Burton wanted. So he was like, "Oh, cool! Like I had this big idea. Like you guys made it easier for
Right,
them."
they toned it down.
Yeah, and he was like, "That's fine." Again, he just wanted to make whatever he wanted, right?
Right.
Kathleen Turner shows up like, this is shit.
Put it on the old script grab machine. Just get some of those pages.
The old script to grab.
So the problem is that Fox is very kind of hit or miss on whether they actually want to make this movie. And they actually technically greenlight the movie about a month before filming was set.
That's such bullshit, though, because before they were like, Peter Jackson, please come and do this movie for us. What are the other studios offering you? We could that. Okay, no, never mind. Like they were thirsty for
They've been
this.
trying to do this for a decade.
And then when it like finally happens,
Have
they're just
cold
like,
feet.
I don't know.
Yeah, and
Actually.
so and like
Do
the
people
amount,
like apes?
and the amount of money that went into the pre-production. If they said no, they would have lost. I mean, how much like
So much
Rick
money,
Baker
yeah.
did on all of the makeup and
Yeah.
all the costumes that they already built. And like, yeah, it would have been pointless.
So people were basically just working on this movie going, I hope we get greenlit.
Exactly. So since the movie had a dead set release date of July 2001, Burton had very little time to prepare. And again, because they were like dragging their feet on whether or not they were actually going to make this go forward. So Burton hoped he could power through it like he did with Batman, because Batman kind of like had a very similar situation where he was dealing with a big studio that was just trying to control everything. He hated making this movie.
No.
While a lot of people talk about, like all the actors talk about how fun he was on set and how great they loved working with him.
I can't imagine fun being a word you would use to describe Tim Burton, like ever.
Like him as a person?
Yeah, just like he seems so just like, I don't know.
He's so dour.
Yeah.
So he did not make, like, looking back on it, he hated making this movie. He felt like a zombie throughout, and he said...
Yeah, zombie, that's the word I would use to describe Tim Burton. Okay, sorry, continue.
No points.
Damn it.
So he said, he was like, what's the point of trying to rush these movies? You don't save my money by rushing through it, and it just wastes time and it ages you.
Yeah.
So Clint, you are going to be our Tim Burton about making the movie. Just real short version of what he thought about making the movie.
In analyzing it, I think I was more intrigued by the idea of it than I was by the thing in itself.
So yeah, he's just like, oh, it was fun, like brainstorming stuff, but I don't.
Oh shit! I actually gotta make
I
this
actually gotta
movie
do
now?
this thing.
Oh, I don't want to actually make the movie. Fuck.
So while Burton was going through a breakup at the time, this is actually where he met Helena Bonham Carter, and they didn't start dating until after the movie. But rumors were like, oh, okay. The makeup by Rick Baker was obviously a time sink, with many of the actors taking 4 hours to apply. This means they often had to start at 3 a.m.
Jesus.
Yeah, I know. I mean, but
It's impressive.
it's fucking impressive.
Yeah, we were talking about this where I'm just like, it's good. Like, it's really good. And I bet that every single one of those actors was like miserable the whole time they were filming because of all that shit they had to wear.
Well, actually, Tim Roth hated it. Like he was like, it was worse when they had to take it off. Because like at that point, you just want to rip it off, and it takes about an hour to take it off.
Because they had because all the latex and stuff, they can't rip it. They have
Yeah.
to like very carefully remove it to put it back on later.
Yes, exactly, and not to rip your skin off.
You know, I remember seeing this movie, in 2001, like as a kid, and I liked it. Because I was a big Tim Burton fan, right? And I still am. I like a lot of Tim Burton stuff. But I remember really thinking to myself, like, it's Tim Burton. I'm gonna like this movie. And I think I probably like talked myself into liking it more than realizing like how it was just a very flawed movie. But as I watched it again this time, like, well, you know what? Like, Tim Roth must have used his anger and hatred of it because I love him as Thade.
I do too.
He's so fucking scary.
Yeah.
Like, he is creepy as hell.
Yeah, 100%. I completely agree. And the actors did say like you use it for the performance.
Yeah.
It's just like use all that frustration, like just oh my god, and that pent up energy just to power through it and and it help you fuel it. But like watching it again, he's not as interesting as a character before. But I remember after seeing it and going, holy shit. That Thade was a fucking awesome villain.
Yeah.
Because he is really intense. And like, he fucking goes hard.
Yeah.
And at the same, what were you saying?
Oh,
about, like,
I just said, I was like, do you think like Tim Roth ever watches this movie and goes, I should have toned it down. I was doing a lot. I was doing a lot of acting.
so much.
I was just I really went for it. I'm a little embarrassed by how hard I went for it because it's kind of a lot. Because it is, you're just like, whew,
it is a choice.
It's,
And I mean, I would argue it works.
I think absolutely.
Yeah.
Like when he's got Wahlberg and he's like, he's got his fingers in his mouth and like he's like,
Is there a soul in there?
oh my god.
he had to compensate for Mark Wahlberg just showing up.
Doing nothing.
And doing abso-fucking-lutely nothing.
Yeah, really.
He's being like, I'm trying to go home.
How'd these apes get like this?
How the hell did these monkeys get like this?
How'd these apes get like this? What the fuck? That's the first thing you say? You have like encountered like a race of like hyper intelligent animals from your time where that like are not that advanced, and that's the first thing you say. How these apes get like this? Like it's just like what the fuck, Mark Wahlberg. I mean, I know he didn't write that line, but listen,
it's like, yeah, I get your point. It's like he knows he's on an alien planet, and it's not like
why would you ask that question?
Well, yeah, no, okay, you would probably accept. Okay, here apes are. It's like wait, apes across all galaxies should be little monkeys.
Also, even if someone was like, oh, actually, let me sit you down and explain it to you, why does it matter? It doesn't change anything about your circumstances. Just like, oh, now I understand how they got like this. Well, it's going to change the
unless
whole
he was
course
asking
of
like
my-
why they're so angry.
Yeah.
Unless that was a real question. It's like, how'd these apes get so angry?
Why don't they just chill out?
Just be like me, Mark Wahlberg. Just chill out.
Yeah.
We'll go
I had a
with, like,
band called the Funky Bunch. Like, why don't they just get funky?
going back to like the makeup, Paul Giamatti loved it. Like, and he said that when he got the call about being in the Planet of the Apes, and he was like, fuck yeah. And then they were like, okay, so we'll make sure like you're a human, so you like get your face out there. And he was like, if you tell them I want to be a human, I will fucking fire you. Like, he's like, I want to be a fucking ape.
That's amazing.
He was another character that I was like, Paul Giamatti, he brought it too. I thought
for sure.
great.
He was great. I really liked him in that too.
Although they talk about he was the only one that kind of was like ad-libbing in the movie, which you can kind of tell.
Yeah.
Especially that fucking last line he has where he goes, you kids want some aspirin?
All right, kids. Who wants to buy some aspirin?
How the fuck does he know what that is?
I thought that same thing too.
So silly. This is Tim Burton about directing people in ape makeup.
It was pretty weird at first, but you get used to it. In fact, it got to the point when it was more disturbing to see the actors without their makeup. I kind of preferred dealing with them as apes.
Such a Tim Burton answer.
Right?
Right.
Oh my God. And he's like, I fell in love with Helena in her ape makeup, and then she took it off, and I was like, I don't know about this.
And then for years, I would just be like, give me a little ooh, 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 ooh. Just a little bit.
So when the actors would start complaining about how long it took to put on all that makeup, Burton would put it in perspective by saying, listen, the stuntmen are doing the exact same amount of makeup and doing a hell of a lot more in it.
Damn. Okay. Well, I actually respect that. It's
right?
just like, you guys think you have it tough? Like, there's people who have it way more tough than you.
Yeah.
Just like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Shut up. You're making a shitload of money.
Yeah.
I like it.
So, like the original, both film in Lake Powell, but they did point out that they had to heat the water around them for the horses. Because the horses weren't allowed to be in the water if it was too cold.
It was too cold.
And so the actors just got it as a bonus.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, all
That
right.
that is so fun. Tim Burton's like, I don't give a. The actors are like, we're a little cold. He's like, you know who else is cold? The fucking horses.
And the stuntmen on those
Fuck
horses.
you. And the stuntmen are also really cold. Stop complaining. They're just like, he seems so mean.
This is a very not actors first production.
He's not as whimsical and fun as I thought he would be from Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Yeah, everyone told me he was so fun.
So Michael Clark Duncan injured himself while running in full costume. And I don't know exactly what happened to him, but he did have to go to the hospital. This is Tim Burton on that.
I wish I had gone to the hospital with him, because seeing them wheeling him in as an ape was maybe the best thing about the film. We should have been shooting that.
Oh my God.
That'd be pretty freaky.
Oh, man.
To see, I mean, because he's just a big dude.
Oh, hey, can I get a loose point for this? Michael Clark Duncan was in The Green Mile, written by
Stephen King,
who wrote Shawshank Redemption.
I'll give you 1 point.
1 point.
I'll give you 1
yes.
point. Okay.
Michael Clark Duncan saved the day.
See, when a man just asks for it, I just gotta give it to him.
I've had to fight for my points. Okay.
Duncan was shot mostly sitting down for a few weeks. So I guess they just had him sitting on a stool. The last week of filming, Burton had a cold and was demonstrating to an actor how he wanted them to roll down a hill. And he broke a rib.
He was demonstrating that? He's like, listen, I'm a method director. I'm going to show you exactly how I want you to roll down this hill.
Remember, he's got a cold, so he's like,
yeah, this is how I want you to roll down a hill like this.
Practically had pneumonia after that because he was just like crushed a rib. Like,
dude.
He should have been in the water with the horses where it was warm.
Would have broken his fall. Okay, let's talk the ending.
Let's fucking talk about it. No, I need to. I was so mad. We finished this movie.
Have you not seen the? Had you not seen it before?
No, she's never seen this.
I honestly forgot this movie existed, and I was like, oh shit, yeah, I guess. I don't think I'd seen it, or if I had, like, I didn't remember it. But we finished watching this movie, and I turned to him, and I was just like, okay, so wait, what? Like, but what is it? And how is it? Why did this? And he was just like, giving me this face like, we'll talk about it on the podcast. And I was like, you motherfucker.
I have a very good, we'll talk about it on the podcast face.
Yeah. It's a face. He just made it.
Yeah.
He just made the face.
And Ray told me this, in confidence, that she hates it when you do that as role play.
Yeah.
Okay. The ending is actually much closer to the book. In the book, the planet is actually a different planet.
Okay.
But when the protagonists return to Earth, they land in Paris and they fly over the Eiffel Tower. And when they land,
a bunch of apes all over
the
it.
Apeful Tower. Why not have the apes swinging from the Eiffel Tower?
King Kong is just like,
cigarettes.
So they land their spaceship, but then a Jeep pulls up and a gorilla gets out. And they were like, what the fuck? And so then they get in their spaceship and just fuck off.
Fuck off. But this
That's
is what...
the ending of the book.
Okay, but this is what I don't understand, because like the conceit of the original movie is that he's gone forward so far in time that basically like apes have evolved to be the predominant species on the planet and humans have kind of devolved and become like subjugated or whatever, which completely makes sense to me because it's like after thousands of years, like that could happen. Sure, why not? But like,
which is actually like when you in this movie, like that twist is actually good. Like I think that's a good smart twist when they go into the spaceship and he discovers
right,
like,
and
that
he's like,
we caused all this.
Caused this. Sure, yeah,
that was a good twist.
That is a good twist. And then they tried to Shyamalan it, and they're just like, put another twist in there. It's like, fuck you, don't do it. And then he's like, I'm out, peace. And then he like kisses both. We need to talk about this love triangle. Later, but like he's like, I don't want to be with you though. Bye forever. Fucks off in his spaceship, goes back to Earth, and it's just like, also apes are here, and it's like, but how? Why?
Well, not just the apes are here, but that it's Thade.
Like, yeah, like society has like the ape society has taken over Earth, but it's like, but you've established that like your crashed spaceship with like your super smart like science experiment apes were the cause of that other planet to have the ape society. How is it on both? Mark Wahlberg, explain yourself.
Yeah.
Fucking Mark Wahlberg.
Explain yourself.
Okay, so Tim Roth says he's seen the movie twice and he still doesn't understand it.
Thank you, Tim Roth.
Burton says it was never meant to make sense, but a sequel could explain it.
No, that's dumb. How dare you, Tim Burton?
I've thought about this, and this is a completely. I will admit right now that this is just a dumb explanation. Okay, so you don't need to give me shit for it.
All right, let's hear it. Let's hear it.
So at the end of the movie, Thade is trapped inside the spaceship, right?
Okay.
Because they got the glass door that he can't get out, right? While he's in there, he teaches himself about that technology, and then he somehow breaks out, right? And he like builds a spaceship from those scraps and takes some monkeys with him. They go through time, land on Earth. They start their own ape society, and that's when they erect a Thade Lincoln Memorial.
So
Thade Lincoln, nice.
Thade Lincoln,
nice.
So
I actually buy that. That's fine.
Thade Abraham Lincoln.
Helena Bonham Carter did say, like, she's like, I mean, the whole point is that he's obsessed with that guy. What's his name? Leo Davidson. Mark
Wahlberg for some reason.
He's obsessed with him, and he got to the point where he was like, I'm going to fucking follow him into the stars.
I want to find this guy.
Yeah,
I'm going to fuck up his life on every planet he tries to go to.
Yeah, but via that time warp thing, he got there first.
Via science! Okay, I kind of buy that theory that like if he were able to rebuild... But like it would have taken him so long. It would have taken him probably because like they had such a small... or a limited understanding of science and technology. Like,
yeah, bro didn't even know how to fire a gun.
Right. He was like, so it's like, it would have taken him thousands. Maybe it was like his son. Maybe it was just like their family lineage became like just trying to fuck up Mark Wahlberg's life. And so like his son and his son's son and his son's son's son. And they're all named Thade. And they were just like, one of us.
It's just like the protagonist thing, but on the other side, it's like, Dad, why do I have to go after this Leo guy?
I just want to learn how to play my guitar.
That's what our family does.
Thade the Seventh? Yeah.
I just want to play my guitar. Also, humans are some of my best friends, Dad.
Yeah,
Stop being so humanist. Okay, I will. That's the theory that I'm buying. That Thade the 488th finally accomplished building a spaceship and somehow traveling to Earth, getting there before Mark Wahlberg via electromagnetic science, and then took over Earth.
Yeah.
It's like that other one you were talking about. The other script idea, they went back. He went to his planet just for revenge.
Yeah.
And how does that play out? Like, sure hope he shows up one of these days.
Yeah, seriously.
It's super weird to me that they did not kill Thade's character. Like, why would you leave that guy alive? He's obviously psychotic.
I mean, again, they did say that they came up with ideas for a trilogy. So
they wanted to leave him. Yeah.
There was a widely circulated rumor that they filmed 5 different endings. Burton refutes this, as it was always that one.
Maybe people are like, but you filmed 5, right? Like, one made sense. Like, just tell it.
And you
just one, right? Just one of them. One of the 5 is like, no, it's just the one. Come on, man.
Give us something.
And it was never meant to make sense. Fuck you.
I love what you said, though, Ray. You're like, yeah, they tried to Shyamalan it.
They did. That's what, if anytime someone's like, it's a twist on a twist, I'm like, get out of here. M. Night Shyamalan.
Okay, some random facts. Like the actors in Cats who attended cat school, the actors also attended ape school.
Nice.
Which I think I liked.
I did too.
I thought that was great.
Like, there was, when we were watching the original, it was kind of like, there's only like one guy, I think he was the jailer, it was like actually like being like an ape.
Right. The whole like
and everybody else
ape
just,
saunter.
Yeah, and everybody else was just wandering around.
Everyone else just had like a tiny like hinge in their waist. Like that was it.
That was it.
Yeah. But that dude like really got into it.
The main character that I felt like was the least successful in their movements was Helena Bonham Carter. I don't know why. Like, just like the way she moved, I didn't feel like.
Yeah,
I wonder if that was on purpose because of that weird love triangle. I wonder if like, okay, well, Helena, we're not going to make you look too much like an ape.
We want you more human.
By giving her a fucking Rachel haircut.
Yeah.
I hated that haircut. I was.
just playing guitar, Dad.
Someone told me life was gonna be with apes.
But she claps like this though, with the one hand inside out.
Oh, so bad. I'm just like, I don't know. That was because the makeup looked really good, but like anytime they showed like a female and they had like a modern hairdo, I was like, just no.
I wonder if like Tim Burton was like, hey, Rick Baker, with makeup, I want when like people see this to have like a kink unlocked that they didn't know they had. Like, oh, okay.
Including me.
Yeah.
Furry kink.
Yeah, I wonder how many people unlocked their furry fetish through this movie.
Furries, let us know.
Yeah.
Hit us up in the comments.
Yep.
Producers kept calling the movie a revisiting rather than a remake.
Oh, that's
Why?
nice.
Why? Who cares? Who fucking just calls it a remake? Who the fuck cares? A revisiting? What the fuck does that even mean? I don't know why. This is triggering me. I don't know why.
Yeah, you are very passionate about that.
Revisiting?
It's a reacquaintancing.
Well, I think it's kind of interesting because it is 4 years before Batman Begins, which starts the reboot idea, right?
The revisiting.
Where you just go, okay, none of that ever happened. Let's just start from scratch, right?
Yeah.
But this is a remake. It's like beat for beat, the kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
Right.
One of the stunt coordinators was Charlie Crawwell.
Back to the Future.
Back to the Future, the guy that
the creeping kid.
Yeah, the creeping kid who just who just happened to just fall back asswards.
Literally ass
Do I
backwards.
get another one single point for Steven Spielberg with that connection since he produced Back to the Future?
Yeah, I'm giving myself a Steven point.
Okay.
For that.
You're not even asking anymore.
No,
that's how you do it. That's how a man does it. They don't even ask.
Yeah,
Exactly.
no asking.
I don't need to ask permission from anybody.
Yeah.
There was a widely believed rumor that there was a human monkey sex scene. And like it got real hot and heavy. And Burton's like, I don't know where that started.
It started from the fact that you had a fucking love triangle between Mark Wahlberg, Helena Bonham Carter's character, who was an ape, and then like the blonde chick who was completely pointless in that movie. She was literally in there
So
for no
pointless.
goddamn
That's
reason.
the funny thing.
So
Like,
pointless.
the kiss in the original Planet of the Apes was just really hilarious because Zero, she's like,
All right, but you're so damned ugly.
all right, but you're just so damned ugly. Like I laughed like I thought that was funny.
Yeah.
But then I watched that second. I watched the 2001 first, and then I watched the original.
Oh, okay.
And then I was thinking about the kiss. I was like, no, Marky Mark, like he got it. Like
Yeah.
he wanted it.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't, but like,
But
in
both
the first
of
one,
them, he's like, I'm going to kiss you now.
yeah.
That's a good Charlton Heston.
But that one, to your point, makes a little bit more sense because it feels more like, thank you for helping me. We're friends. Plus, she has a fiance, so it's like it's just more like platonic, right?
Yeah.
It feels more platonic. But like the whole 2001 version, there's all like we kept joking about any time there was a scene between Mark Wahlberg and Helena Bonham Carter, it would cut to the blonde girl.
Yeah,
just being like,
they would have one interaction and then it would cut to her and she'd be like, no, I want him.
No, I'm in love with him. And it's like, but why? And also,
But why? Yeah, seriously.
What's the point? Like, she was so pointless. And then he kisses both of them before he leaves. And it's just like, okay.
Yeah, as like, thank you for helping me, monkey kiss. And then like, you're here.
I guess you're kind of hot, so let's
Like,
kiss you.
well, I'll kiss you too.
But like, he didn't like take her with him, or there was no like relationship building.
Nothing. Was there even a single conversation between them besides like,
No, other than how did apes get like this? That's the only time that they had like a moment together.
that was their meet cute. It was
Yeah.
a stupid asinine question.
Yeah, because it does. They clock it. It's like 3 days. They say something that it's like 3 days,
Yeah.
Right.
or something like that.
So there was
And-
no time for any kind of relationship to develop. They developed the relationship between his character and Ari more because there's a lot of moments
Whose
where
character
she's
we didn't know her name until like
halfway through the movie.
Ari.
Yeah, that's her name. But because it prefaces, it's like she's a human sympathizer. She feels bad for them. She doesn't want to be with Thade, who's like he's like so aggressively coming on to her, and then she kind of has that moment where she's like just like curious about Mark Wahlberg. So she's kind of just like, like touching his face, which felt very like, oh, like apes kind of grooming each other.
Yeah.
And like all of that, they developed their relationship way more than him and I don't even know the blonde girl's name. Oh, Dana. Like him and Dana is just like, she could have literally been completely pulled out and it could have just been like the brother and the dad.
It changes nothing with the
Literally,
movie.
she changes nothing.
Okay, 13 years after the idea was raised, Planet of the Apes released July 27th, 2001. 43% with critics and 27% with audiences.
That feels right.
Yeah, 40, I don't know, maybe. We'll get into it. It had the second highest opening weekend of all time with $68.5 million, just behind The Lost World at $72 million. So there was a lot of hype for this, and people were excited to see it. On a budget of $100 million, it made $180 million in the U.S., 362 million total worldwide. So it's kind of considered when you think like people talk about it like it was a failure. It wasn't. Like it made money.
Right.
It made money, but I don't. It obviously didn't last very long. Probably because of the word of mouth of that ending.
Yeah.
Yeah. That probably killed her like dead in the water. People probably saw it like the first opening week, a huge opening weekend. Like, oh, and then people are like, hey, you saw that Planet of the Apes movie, right? What'd you think? I mean, it was fine. I mean, like 23%. I liked it 23%, and I would have liked it more, but the ending like gave 23% of it. I liked it.
Yeah, that'd be enough. Like if you thoroughly enjoyed it and then you hated that ending, like why would you go to it again?
Yeah.
Right. Despite being a success, the word of mouth on the movie wasn't great, especially because of the twist ending, and any sequel talk died pretty quickly. In mid-August, so the movie came out in July, so Tim Burton is still doing press, and this time he's overseas, and this is what he said upon being asked if he would do a sequel.
The idea of me doing it, I'd rather jump out the window. I swear to God. Oh, Burton.
So fun, that guy.
The series wouldn't return for another 10 years with the rebooted trilogy Rise of the Planet of the Apes, 2011, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, 2014, and War of the Planet of the Apes, 2017. Rise is good. Dawn is fantastic. War is good, but it will crush you. That movie is very sad.
It's super, super sad. Yeah.
All right, well, I have that to look forward to.
Yeah, but it is phenomenal.
They're
very good.
Yeah, and I think altogether those movies are incredible as like one full like story too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so that one, they kind of play with the idea of like that there's the simian flu and then humans going mute, and losing their ability to talk. And the little girl from War, her name is Nova. So worth it?
I don't think so. I mean, Tim Roth as Thade, which I thought was excellent, is not enough for me to like. It's not enough to make up for the rest of it. And like, I feel like with such, I mean, Planet of the Apes, just like on the face of it, just sounds like a silly sci-fi.
Yeah.
But they managed to like turn it into like a really popular, powerful contender for a really good sci-fi amongst the pantheon of sci-fi films, right? But with this movie, it just felt there was like a wackiness to it. That because I think about the movies that Tim Burton made after this, and I was like, well, there's the Wonka movie, which was super wacky. I was like, this was like it has got the same level of wackiness that his Charlie and the Chocolate Factory had, in a way. Like I don't know. I felt It felt like it took itself too seriously, but then also didn't, and so I didn't take it too seriously.
Yeah, it fell in an awkward place in the middle.
Exactly. Yeah.
I get that. Yeah, I agree. It wasn't worth it because it's not. I mean, it's a kind of a forgettable movie. It's not that good. There's like nothing other than Thade like really stand out about it, and it doesn't feel like that maintained people's interest enough to get the Rise of the Planet of the Apes made. Like I feel like Rise probably could and would have happened without this movie kind of weirdly like being sandwiched in the middle. Like it wasn't like Tim Burton and a bunch of other people like then went on to go develop Rise. Like that happened sort of independently. Is that the case?
For Rise?
Yeah.
For Rise, it was just this couple that were like, we want to make this.
Right. So
it
like
was
Rise,
out of nowhere.
right. So Rise would have happened without
probably
this movie. Because to me, like when I consider the was it worth it, right? I go, well, like maybe this other really good movie wouldn't have been made if they hadn't made this shitty movie and reminded everybody that Planet of the Apes was a thing.
Like Batman and Robin, then Batman Begins.
Right. Exactly. But it doesn't sound like that's the case. So it's like, then like why this movie? Like it's just kind of like a like wet fart sound of a movie that just happened, you know? And like Tim Burton like hated it. And, so.
Yeah. Tim Burton hated it. Tim Roth hated it. Audiences hated it.
Yeah.
It was cool looking.
The makeup's cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Makeup was cool. Yeah.
The production was actually like pretty badass.
Yeah.
I did like how the monkeys are actually very terrifying in it. I mean, it was the 60s.
But fuck
they
that
look
ending.
Weird.
Fuck that ending forever, though. It's so dumb.
It's so weird. I've just come numb to it. I just remember it happening. Just be like, I don't know, whatever. It's just like it happened.
It was a movie.
I tallied my points. Did you tally your points yet?
Ooh.
No, but I will.
I mean, I think I lost.
I can tell that she won just by the list. When you guys read your list, I was like, Jenny Ray hit like a lot of them.
39.
It's a 24.
Yeah, like a white man.
For winning, you will now get a chimp dance tonight. With the weird elbow thing.
I get it. Wait, does that mean that Clint would have got a sexy chimp dance?
Yeah, and he lost.
Shit, the only chance I could have had from any sort of like show of affection from Ian.
I was about to say like I think you secretly won, but obviously you're like, no, I wanted that chimp dance.
I wanted that chimp dance. I was ready for it.
The chimp lap dance. Yeah. We did it. I won.
Man, like I think I knew coming into this, I was like, I don't know what Ian wants with this list or what he's expecting, but like I'm just gonna throw it together, and I think I went about it all wrong.
I have a lot of regrets about how my list came together also.
I don't know. I just tried to see if it would make it something fun. With
no, it was good.
It was great. It was great.
Yeah, I guess if anyone out there, if you played along and you got more points, and you think you got more points than
They like go on to Wikipedia. Okay, here are all the names.
Yeah.
James Cameron, Peter Jackson. All right. I'll play.
We'll send you a video of Ian doing a chimp dance.
Patreon exclusive.
Exclusive.
OnlyFans.
Yeah. We started OnlyFans.
Just for this. Only fans of Planet of the Apes.
Okay. Follow-ups?
Let's do some follow-ups.
So for the first thing, a big thank you to John Kerrigan. He was the person that edited our best of episode that just came out recently. He said that listening to the podcast helped him through a really hard time in his life. So he found solace in our nonsense.
He found solace in our quantum.
He found a quantum of solace in our podcast.
Yeah.
I know, but when he brought it up and I was sitting there going, like, best of moments, and I mean, you guys are the fans. Like, I forget these as soon as we record them.
I know.
I'm like, okay, so the best of is just Quantum of Solace.
Yeah.
It was
Empires of the Deep.
It was fun though, going back and revisiting some of those moments and like listening to the cuts that he would send over, because I'm like, oh yeah, that was pretty funny.
Oh yeah, I remember we had that conversation.
Yeah.
And then some of the comments on that were just very wonderful comments about people, how much you guys have enjoyed us over this last little while, and we released it as a 4-year anniversary kind of thing. But this one, it was my favorite comment.
Singing Pepper said, if I could marry a podcast, I would marry yours. Between finding out cool behind the scenes info to the pee my pants laughs, it's perfect. Here's to many, many, many more episodes. Singing Pepper, we accept. We accept your proposal.
We do.
We do.
The other big follow-up I wanted to get to was, for those who did not know that this happened, there was an update on the Yesterday trailer lawsuit.
The Ana de Armas.
The Ana de Armas.
Wild.
So, last we talked about this. So, again, real quick, Ana de Armas is in the trailer for Yesterday, the movie about the Beatles not existing. Guy starts over, whatever. And 2 guys sued for $3.99. They paid $3.99 to rent it, and they didn't get their Ana de Armas. So, last we talked about this, the judge ruled in favor of those 2 guys, saying that trailers count as commercials, so therefore they are liable for false advertising.
It's like false advertising.
So, what we didn't know at the time was that the judge put the onus on the plaintiffs to prove that they weren't the only ones duped by the whole trailer, and thus making the lawsuit a class certification. And so, like, if they ruled for that, if it became a class certification, then they could sit there and people would be like, I
wanted
want my
Ana
money
de Armas,
back.
and I didn't get Ana de Armas.
I want to know Ana de Armas' thoughts on this.
Yeah,
Right?
has she like commented on it at all?
No.
Oh my
She's
god.
probably just like,
Who
yeah,
gives a shit?
yeah, who cares?
Anna, get in touch with us. We want to hear your thoughts on this whole thing.
So, so the judge puts it on them to kind of like figure this out, and they clearly weren't like prepared when they came back to the judge.
No.
And because they were like, how do you quantify this?
Right.
How do you quantify that people were affected, that A, saw the trailer, and then B, saw the movie,
Right.
and paid for it? Like, how the fuck do
How do you prove that?
How do you prove that, right? And they like go to the judge and they're like, maybe we could send out like a survey. like to who?
Yeah.
So realizing
This pitch went as well as Roddy McDowell and Peter Jackson going into Fox.
I don't know who you are.
They're just like, listen, Your Honor, time is a flat circle. And he's like, oh my God, of course.
So realizing the men did not do their homework, the judge threw out the option of a class certification, but they would be entitled to the money they lost of $3.99 each. So a total of $7.98.
And it cost them $500,000 in legal fees.
Okay,
yeah.
So the men counter with, okay, like, we'll drop the case, but if you give us a flat fee of $750,000,
Wait, if who? Just the filmmakers?
The Universal Studios.
Okay.
Just give us money and we'll just drop this and
as
there
they're
won't be
losing,
any president. Yes,
as they're losing, and
they're
Universal's
losing.
just like, nice try.
Yeah, and so Universal's like, oh, we got you now, and so they demand, because this was just a frivolous, stupid lawsuit.
Right.
Like it took them 2 years. This has been going on for 2 years, and how expensive studio lawyers are.
Yeah.
Right. So they're like, okay, judge, we demand that these men pay the attorney fees, $472,000.
Oh my God.
And the judge is like, okay, that's a little egregious. Just $126,000.
Good Lord.
So the men had,
and those guys collectively shit their pants.
yeah,
when
they were
heard
like,
that.
oh God, we overstepped our.
What did we do?
Yeah, exactly. So the men had two options. They had to either accept the ruling that it was false advertising, that but it wasn't class certification, and but they would have to pay $126,000 to Universal, or drop the case entirely and get nothing. They chose the latter.
Well, yeah, no fucking shit they did.
Because again, someone commented recently, they were like, "No, this is total bullshit. Like this is total bullshit that they put her in the trailer, and it's false advertising." And I was like, You described yesterday. Give you 1,000 words to describe that movie, her character would never even come up.
Right.
It doesn't fucking matter.
It doesn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's like, go pay $3.99 for a movie you fucking know has Ana de Armas in it, and shut up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There are plenty of movies where she's showing all kinds of stuff.
There's way better Ana de Armas movies.
Yes. So it's so fucked because it clearly was for money. They're clearly doing this for money.
Right.
Because if it was something that they truly believed in, that trailers cannot do this.
Right.
We'll pay that money because movie studios have to stop doing this to us. If they had, like, there was conviction in the wrongdoing, like, obviously not. It was all about money.
Yeah. Which is so dumb. Because, like, anybody, like, even if you're a weird litigious person, you'd have to know, okay, so you paid $3.99, you're complaining that you paid $3.99 and you didn't get what you thought you were going to get. How much more money do you think you're going to get out of this lawsuit?
All of this, yeah.
Versus how much you're going to, of your time, effort, whatever, that you have to pay for lawyers and stuff.
Their own lawyers.
Yeah. Like,
I think that's what people just forget about. They're
never-
like, oh, I'm going to sue for money. And then they forget, like,
Oh,
I gotta
lawyers
pay a
are
lawyer.
expensive. Yeah.
Yeah, for someone that's going to go up against a
studio.
huge studio.
Yeah. But you're right. This wasn't about, like, we're defending, like, the
integrity of
the
the
integrity
trailer.
of trailers, or, like, we're defending, like, the little guy against, like, the Hollywood, machine or what. It's like they're like, oh well, we fucked up. We didn't think this all the way through. Yeah, you certainly didn't, dipshits.
Yeah.
Thank God for that judge, right?
Crazy. I mean,
It's like it's just a white man trying to get his points.
trying to get their points in the world. Dumbasses.
Listen, Oliver Stone said flat circle and they give him $1 million.
We say Ana de Armas wasn't in yesterday. Where's our $1 million?
Where's our 750,000? Okay, we're losing, but just give us money.
Oh my God. It's wild. Wild, the whole thing. So I just wanted to read one comment that we got from, this was from Spotify. I think the Spotify comments. Danny Dees said on our LXG episode, WTF, Sean Connery died? I'm 4 years behind, WTF. And this was in all caps. And I absolutely relate to that sentiment. I was also very shocked that Sean Connery had died. Spoiler alert, everybody. Anyway, yes, Danny Dees, I'm sorry we had to break the news to you so callously.
Well, listen, in their defense and in your defense as well, Ray, the last 4 years have just kind of been like a black hole.
It's true.
Of time. Like
a flat circle of time.
A flat circle of time, yeah. So, I mean, he could have died yesterday, and I think a lot of people have been like, oh, yeah, I believe that.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't, yeah. So, don't worry about it.
Anyway, I love that one. And then we did get a review on Apple Podcasts. And yeah, if you listen on Apple Podcasts, go hit us up, give us a review. It helps other people find the show. It's very, very helpful. Anyway, so Albie Singer said, "This is my favorite podcast. Ian, Ray, and Clint not only offer behind-the-scenes information on the crazy business that is filmmaking, but they do so in the funniest manner. It's like sitting down and listening to friends cut up and get lost in great conversation. I highly recommend the podcast, and I also recommend checking out the YouTube channel for even more great commentary. Keep up the great work."
Oh, thank you.
Thanks, Albie.
Thanks to everybody who listens and supports us. We really appreciate it.
I honestly don't know why you do, y'all, but thank you.
He just explained. It's like
it's our funny
down, listening
banter.
Albie put it perfectly. That's why
behind the
Albie
scenes.
gets 50 points.
Oh fuck! I love.
I'll send them the
chimp video.
the OnlyFans video.